So do's and don'ts. The principles are still the same as I said earlier, right? Like, be helpful, be authentic, be yourself, etc. But the things I wanted to add here are like reminders to people, which is it's still okay to be creative and it's still okay to experiment. This is, I feel like because due to the fear of doing it quote unquote wrong, a lot of people have started doing things the same. So, or sorry, let me say that better. A lot of folks have either copied what other people are doing as a way of kind of like, okay, well, it's not the best, but this seems to work, so I'll just do that. But it's not that interesting. So I would say, please still try to experiment and be creative, because honestly, what I see in my feed right now is, in these uncertain times, that's the intro to every social platform I'm on right now. If like I look at what the brands are publishing, right? It's like, in times of crisis, in these uncertain times, I'm like, okay, we get it, right? We get it. What can you say that's different? Anything at all different? Anything at all that's not in these uncertain times and in times of crisis will be different now. So like, do us all a favor and try that. I was even thinking about trying like drawing pictures instead of using illustrations, and trying to like really connect people back to like the human element, since we're all sort of missing that. And that goes back to being human as well, and connecting and creating community, right? Like the more you try to be, the less you try to be a brand and the more you try to be a human, I think is really going to work right now. And again, like the kind of obvious don'ts are, don't try to bring yourself into a conversation where you don't belong, right? If you're selling potato chips and you're like, in these uncertain times, everyone needs a Lay's, like, come on, you know what I mean? Like, find a different way to join the conversation or divert the conversation elsewhere, right? Like, you have to remember that just because people's attention is being held in this doesn't mean it can't be diverted to somewhere different. And that goes back to the concept of distraction, right? So, make an effort to try to give people something else to think about. I honestly believe that right now would be a really good time for a stunt, right? Like, do something, whether it's like a charity related stunt or whatever, like just, try to, find some way to engage people in some interesting way, because I don't want to hear another in uncertain times intro. And yeah, don't put yourself on autopilot, but I feel like nobody needs to be told that. Like, you get that concept. When the disasters hit, you've got to make it personal. Even if that means you're posting less PS. If you're posting less, great. Write 5 impactful tweets that get way more engagement than 500 that get 0, right? That's kind of an obvious.